Similar to a lot of people, I started crocheting pretty much right after quarantine started. I was really bored. I consider myself to be a very creative person more generally, but I think it was probably on TikTok that I started to get a lot of crochet content, and I saw like a bag that I really wanted to make, so I decided it was time to learn. I think most people start by just like learning the fundamental stitches, but I had a mission and I wanted to make like a very specific bag, so I kind of just jumped into that, and then from there I just like never stopped, I guess.
Thank you so much. Today we have Todd Nafziger here with us, who's also a public information officer and actually leads our team here at the Emergency Operations Center. Thank you, Todd, for being here.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you. And today we're going to talk about the regional stay-at-home order, what it means to us, to you.
With 2020, everything's shutting down, businesses shutting down, people losing their jobs. Capitalism is being put to a halt and being put into question, and people are for the first time having starting to have a sense of themselves. They were taking time to think internally.
I was just like returning to like all the things that made me happy as a child, and then I remembered, I just like woke up one day and I was like, I know how to crochet. I didn't have any hooks, I barely remembered any stitches. But it's one of those things like riding a bike, like once you know how to do it, you kind of know how to do it. It was really just boredom, and then I started posting on TikTok out of boredom also. And yeah, like the first or second crochet video that I posted like went viral, and I was like, oh, this helps. I also think it was like a thing of self-fashioning. Like, I feel like a lot of people also were exploring their gender identity and their sexuality during the pandemic, and like being able to just like sit and do absolutely nothing else but like introspect. And I found that it was like very affirming for me to be able to like have a vision in my head for like the way I want something to look on me, and then like just make it. And that's still something that's like that I find extremely, extremely affirming, to just be able to present myself in a way that's like down to the stitch me.
People who crochet being predominantly either disabled, neurodiverse, and or queer. It's funny to kind of like identify one another based on crochet. I just think it's like hilarious, and I have like shared so many laughs with people because it's like a secret a secret code or something. I really appreciate like the network of other student businesses that are around, because there's some super talented people who also like support me by like buying my products, and I do the same. So that like mutual like relationship, I guess, is really cool. I guess I don't know if I would say Stanford as a school is super like supportive or conducive to running a small business, but I think groups within it are. I know that Fashion X, which is like a club or an organization on campus, is the one that is running these flea markets, and they are super supportive of all of their vendors in my experience.
We usually host our flea markets at the end of the quarter, and we reach out to vendors week 1 or 2 of the 10-week quarter, and we send out an application. And we usually get around 30 applicants, which is probably our most popular event. It's like fun to get, friends out to see like what other people are making, and I think it's always a really good time.
I think we are trying to just create a place for like lovers of fashion to like be whomever they want to be, enabling people that want to be like very creative and artsy and do like crochet, or like very like professional and like do runway or like behind the scenes, or like do like avant-garde stuff. Like I think like from the professional to the casual, like to the artistic to the whatever. I think we just want to create an open space for the arts in a way that like we felt was missing.
I think I started selling when I realized that people liked the things I make. At some point I had just like accumulated so many crochet pieces that I had like just made and were just like sitting in a drawer in my room. And then I heard that a Fashion X club on campus was like having a flea market, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll try to get rid of some of those things. And people were like super into it. Like all my really crappy like first pieces I made, you know, I sold them for like $20 and people were so into it. I think a lot of it is just like having the tools and having the drive. Because like to start crocheting, you like have to go to a craft store and pick up a hook and yarn. And I think that's like a pretty decent barrier for a lot of people, especially if they don't have like any form of transportation. But now with the increasing like maker spaces on campus, it's a lot easier.
A little bit during the pandemic. There weren't very many students on campus. There was more staff, and so some staff were coming in and crocheting. People just liked it. It's just something, you know, to do during lunch and to see people. I think what's super exciting here, like when Quinn started this lab, I thought, boy, that seems like a, what's a good word for it? Like, I don't know, like she's getting away with something, right? Like everybody's coming in here sewing and stuff.
The first time I was there, I was like, oh my God, like this place is insane. Every time I go there, everybody there is so lovely. Like they really care about you, you know. I usually go in on Tuesdays and I spin yarn and they're like, oh yes, the classic Jess, Tuesday yarn spinning. So cute.
Another one?
I just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah.
I was looking for jobs recently and I was like, ugh, like, I don't want to do anything that I don't like. I want to do something that I do like. And like, I already have so much experience in crochet. So like, I just wonder if there are any like programs or like jobs related. And there are none. And so I just found that like frustrating and interesting, and it definitely like struck me as I was looking through that it's probably because like people view this as like a woman's art form, like something you do at home, and like not something that you can take into a professional sphere and like have success with and like make it innovative and make it cool. But I never saw it as anything other than art making.